Wonder, a feeling of surprise mingled with admiration caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable. Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy corner of the world where you're invited to rediscover and experience the abundant magic that dances through your life. This podcast is slow living wrapped in sparkles, self-love woven with inspiration, and mindfulness dipped in wonder. So brew up a cup of tea in your favorite mug, settle into your comfiest chair, and join me, Shaina Wexler, as we allow ourselves this respite to romanticize our lives and revel in daily magic. Hello, my beautiful friend. I am so happy that you are here with me on this lovely Tuesday morning. I hope that you are all set up with your daily magic tea time spread because I am eager to dive right into exploring today's topic, the magic of wonder. We are now more than 40 episodes into Daily Magic, and even though I've not, up to this point, specifically titled any of those episodes about wonder, wonder has been a key ingredient woven through absolutely every episode that we have done together so far. Some episodes celebrate magical moments and places and events and the objects themselves, while others reflect on the specific ingredients needed to create and experience and perceive these moments of magic around us as they are actually occurring. In my very first episode of Daily Magic Season 1, I made the statement that I believe that wonder and awe are the essence of magic, and I still hold to that. From my perspective, I know that I could easily do 20 seasons of this podcast and never run out of topics to highlight with it because from my point of view, there are myriads of magical experiences weaving their way through our day-to-day and our interactions with others and our experiences within ourselves and our connection with the world around us. However, I also know that those billions of magical experiences and moments can go wholly unperceived without a few fundamental elements in place. To me, wonder is absolutely one of those bedrock elements, and some other daily magic prerequisite elements are gratitude, awe, stillness, mindfulness, and tea, obviously. Okay, yes, sure. I guess tea is technically elective, but wonder, my beautiful friend, is not. As I opened this episode with, wonder is defined as a feeling of surprise mingled with admiration caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable. When we live with wonder, we are putting ourselves in a state of openness, a state of expectancy, ready to receive moments that surprise us with their beauty and novelty. So, why does wonder often feel so difficult to access? I have a couple of theories about this. Wonder and awe tend to come really naturally to us when we're young, and it's easy to understand why, right? Because when we're young, almost everything we experience is new and beautiful and surprising and unexpected, right? Nearly everything is inexplicable. We don't have explanations for almost anything. But then we go to school and we start to learn, quote, how things work, how things occur, why things occur, right? And this is where I feel we start to veer off of the wonder and awe path. As we begin to receive explanation of what we're experiencing, we do something really strange with that information. We begin to think that if we can explain it, then it isn't really that special. Once we understand why something happens or interacts in a certain way, then we oddly begin to dismiss that thing as now being a known quantity. Once we think we understand something or can, quote, explain it, we begin to diminish and dismiss it. It's lost its specialness to us. Okay, that rainbow happens because sunlight interacts with water droplets in the atmosphere, causing the light to be refracted, reflected, and dispersed, resulting in a spectrum of colors. I guess it isn't that magical after all, because it's physics, right? It shifts into something of that nature. And as we age, we have less and less experiences that are truly new or novel, and more experiences that we understand or can quantify and predict and explain to whatever degree we think that we can explain things, right? Familiarity dulls our sense of wonder. And I think we have this totally wrong. I see it in the opposite way. Knowing how and why something occurs, the science behind chemical reactions or photosynthesis or planetary alignment or sound waves or the ocean's tide or whatever, right? All these different things, that doesn't make anything less magical. Understanding the intricacies of how and why things work makes those things more magical. Can you believe the things that occur on this insanely magical planet? You guys, caterpillars literally liquefy while somehow still maintaining a life force and then mutate into this gorgeous winged fairy creature after somehow having the information inside of them to know how to construct a magical transformation fort for themselves. What? Like what? We go, oh, look at that lovely butterfly. Cool, moving on. No. That is a mystical creature flitting next to your flowers. In the episode, The Magic of Autumn, which is to date my very favorite of my episodes yet, I describe an experience where as a child, me and my brother, we were given these wintergreen lifesavers and we're told to chew on them. And we were able to see these blue sparks coming from each other's mouths as we crunched on this candy. And it was such a magical moment in my life. But how does that happen? Why did that happen? Well, wintergreen lifesavers spark when crushed due to a phenomenon called triboluminescence, where friction creates visible light. The visible light is actually ultraviolet light that is converted into visible light by the wintergreen oil. Oh, ho-hum, it's just triboluminescence, that's all it is. No! Are you kidding me? We can create magic by chewing on candy? This is incredible, right? Knowing intricacies of how things occur should serve to bring more and more of a sense of wonder into our lives. Knowledge reveals layers, not limits. Understanding something doesn't reduce its mystery. It shows us that the mystery goes deeper than we realized. Explanation isn't the opposite of enchantment. We've been conditioned to believe that magic and science are opposites, but from my perspective, they are really just different languages for describing wonder. Science is a translation of awe into another form. And here's the good news. If we've fallen out of wonder, reclaiming a wondrous life can be as simple as adding back in the elements of fascination that already previously existed within us. Instead of trying to muster a feeling out of nowhere, what if instead we brought ourselves back to the sensation of how these moments felt before we explained away their magic or allowed them to deteriorate into familiarity? The wonder and awe are very related and often are present within the same experience, right? There's a reason that I chose to focus today's topic on wonder. Awe is often described as a direct, initial feeling when faced with something vast or incomprehensible, right? It's that kind of initial gut reaction feeling that we don't have a lot of advocacy over. While wonder is a more reflective feeling and a response that arises when we're unable to fit something into our familiar framework. Wonder has a reflective, mindful, purposeful quality about it, which means it's something that we can practice. We can't control those immediate feelings of being struck by awe or not, but we can certainly be intentional to make a reflective practice around our moments, allowing them to transform from ordinary or familiar back into moments of wonder. And furthermore, it is my belief that the more and more we practice the reflection of wonder, the more and more naturally the feeling of awe begins to reintroduce itself into our lives as well. So, perhaps that reflective practice could go a little something like this. Morning coffee. Without wonder, we stumble into the kitchen and robotically brew our caffeine fix, barely awake, already thinking of emails. But with wonder, we cradle a steaming cup of liquid sunlight, harvested from distant hillsides, brewed into warmth by fire and ritual, an ancient comfort passed from hand to hand across centuries to hours. Folding laundry. Without wonder, we groan, staring at a mountain of crumpled, clean laundry, another endless loop of domestic obligation. But with wonder, we smooth out the wrinkles of daily life, folding fabric that has journeyed with us, shirts that hugged us on good days and bad, towels that dried away tears and rain. It becomes a quiet prayer of care. Birds on a wire. Without wonder, we pass by without noticing. Just birds on a wire, background noise on a busy street. But with wonder, we see delicate sky dwellers balancing on a thread of lightning, orchestrating a silent symphony in feather and flight. Tiny miracles in perfect stillness. The sunset. Without wonder, we register the dimming light and pull the blinds. Another day down, nothing new. But with wonder, we watch the sky set itself on fire in farewell. Clouds dressed in gold, lavender and flame, an opera of color performed just once for those who choose to look up. Getting into bed. Without wonder, we collapse, exhausted, scrolling ourselves to sleep. But with wonder, we climb into a personal cocoon wrapped in softness, where dreams curl around us like fog, an invitation to step into the velvet unknown and let the stars watch over us. Creating a podcast. Without wonder, I stay up in a room by myself until 2, 3, or 4 a.m. every other Monday evening to write, record, edit, mix, and upload a podcast episode. But with wonder, I conjure the images of friends, family, and dear ones far and wide, marveling at the ability to share my voice, inspirations, and energetic space with each of these beautiful people. I'm wrapped in love and gratitude with the knowing that people I've never met will dedicate the precious moments of their day to spend with me as we sip tea together and revel in life's daily magic. Be blessed, my beautiful friend. Be light and be the magic. I love you.